You got to join the banter. You got to start joining the conversation, because if your interest is not piqued after this discussion, it's probably not for you.
Yep. Join us. And okay, everyone Laura, give what you do and give us a little something to say to come to see you,
Sure,
real estate,
again.
whatever, promote yourself.
Again, I'm a real estate agent with Keller Williams. I'm also a Bitcoin miner and a hotel owner. And,
Serious. That is serious.
And a real estate investor as well. So I definitely try to diversify. But yeah, so if anybody's joining here and they know me and they're interested in learning more, we can always talk offline. And
And Nigel?
So I'm Nigel Richards. I own a team called Nigel & Co. at Compass, and I am also a real estate developer. I own some things, this building called D Street Studios. Please Google that, check it out, and look us up on Instagram and Nigel & Co. on Instagram. And I've been doing some reels and having fun with it, and, and even TikToking a little, because Lara, let's do it.
Well, you're the entertainer, man. You're the
whatever.
DJ.
I've always been a little bit of an entertainer, obviously, with the DJ and all that. But I do say that I can talk a lot of game here, and I don't want anyone to ever be intimidated. Both my friends or your friends or anyone watching this, like, yeah, I can talk a lot of game. The numbers of what I invested last year are staggering, but it's all on income. I didn't keep outlaying. I just would reinvest. But I started with a $12,000 package, and I was scared, and I put in $6,000, and I financed, and I was like, I don't know. And then I was like, oh my God, when I started to figure it out. Then I started going in full on heavy. Yeah. So now that's where I am, and I'm continuing to grow, and I'm trying not to take anything. I'm just trying to, and it's so weird because like every X days, I'm like, oh yeah, boop, another platinum, 11 grand. Yeah, see you later. And I'm like, 11 grand. I could have used that 11 grand. Like that's real money, but nope. Just keep putting it back in,
Smart.
because of the long run, I got to be able to afford a hotel,
Yeah.
Right.
Invest like Lara. So anyway, I just want to speak and say encouragingly, don't be afraid. There's no questions too silly. We are not experts by any means, but I've been doing this a little while. We've been doing this a little while, so maybe you can learn from our experience. But it is fun, and if you've thought about dabbling and whatever, like you don't have to get a super crazy trading stuff. It's very simple. A way to dollar cost average, which I'm sure you may or may not have heard. Where you're just getting a little bit every day, whatever the price is, doesn't matter. Yeah, you look once a month, like, oh look at that.
Accumulation, do 100 a week, right? Say I'm going to put a little 100 here, 200 here, 100. Just a little something, and just.
Or you
add it
start
to
even
the-
like with Coinbase, just sprinkle Starbucks money, just play with it.
Yeah.
Just try it, $20, see what happens.
Yeah,
Wow.
put
Look, I
20
put it in
bucks in
Shiba, now it's-
Dogecoin and see what
Yeah,
happens, right?
Yeah, buy Doge.
I was
Who
gonna
knows?
Buy
say,
Doge at
there
50.
could be a good
put
tweet
$50, and you say, wow, it came to 250, in 5 minutes?
Right, yeah, right.
You just don't know with Doge and Shiba.
We're desensitized too, if you think about it. Like if I went back to Nigel 5-7 years ago and said, oh, by the way, like your portfolio is going to go up and down 25 to 40% daily, and you could have invested in something and it's up 50%, and that's like okay, and you could have made 30x on something, I'd be like, what are you talking about? But now when something's up 50%, I'm like, let it ride, it's fine. Like, what?
Yeah.
50%? And I'm like, it's all right.
Let it ride.
Totally different.
Yeah, and I think it's important just to have the conversation. No, nothing is too small. You can start small if you're more.
You should start
resourced.
small if you're just getting into it.
That's right. And I'm Mindy Previtera from Petrelli Previtera, the law firm I co-founded with my business partner, Tom Petrelli. And we do all things divorce and prenups, postnups. Anybody who owns crypto and is thinking about getting married, you need a prenup. And if you're already married, you need a postnup. So divorce law is my day job and my passion, but I'm also a crypto and NFT enthusiast. I think there is such an intersection between this area and the law, and I'm so excited to be on the forefront of that conversation.
Yep, same here. John Bolaris. I'm in real estate, black label luxury. We developed the black label. It was a vision. I knew I had to do something after weather, so I came up with this niche. I met with Bert Brodsky. He's huge real estate guy, but he made all his money in healthcare. And put it real simple, after many years of not being in television anymore, I'm sitting in Bert's pool, and he goes, John, do me a favor. Can you get into real estate? I said, why, Bert? Just trust me. Get into real estate. You're made for real estate. And if you get into real estate, I'll give you my Gatsby to sell. I said, I'm in. 5 days later, I enrolled in Temple, and we came up with Black Label, surrounded by very good teams. I always surround myself with people smarter than me, as you can see. So I do the same concept with Black Label. People great on the team. They're my number one thing I look for is skill. I look for is not really a skill, is likability of a person that comes in. to Black Label and become part of the team. The team is tremendous. My partners, Andrea and Ben and Gaurav, and Andrea is just killing it. She's such a great, thank God it took me 14 months to get her in and become part of Black Label and get into the business with us as far as the Black Label partnership that we have now and partnering with Keller Williams. So now it's Bitcoin, right? So we want a Bitcoin club every Wednesday. And 5 years from now, it'll be the Billionaires Bitcoin Club.
All
Okay?
right.
All right.
Okay, I'll
Big
take
goals.
it.
So that's what we're going to do, all right? What's this date?
Go Shiba.
April 20,
28th? What's the date?
It's the 27th. It's the 27th.
27th, 2001.
My birthday's Friday. For my birthday, would you
2022.
all send me some
22.
Bitcoin or Shiba for my Bitcoin?
So it's
Yeah, good.
2024.
All right, April 28th, 2027, we'll be here again. It's
Nice.
Billionaires?
Oh, that's
Billionaire
Pop
Club.
and
Okay.
champagne.
Bitcoin Billionaire Club, all right? We'll try for that. We'll
Love
see
it.
what happens.
Cool.
All right, quick, I have to know the story with Shiba.
Oh, so I had heard about Shiba and I went on a sailing trip and it was awesome. It was great. We sailed down
Yeah, you
to
like to
Bermuda
sail.
and stuff. Yeah, yeah. So we were going to be offline for like 3-4 days. So just before we were leaving, I was talking to someone and we're talking about Shiba and they're like, yeah, it's 53x, blah, blah, blah. It was already up 53x. Like, and I was like, oh, and they're like, they're starting to swap, blah, blah, blah. There's all these reasons. So I started like massively researching, figuring it out, like reading articles, like what is it? Who is it? Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, you know what? I don't know. Whatever. All right, fine. So my friend had gone in pretty well, pretty significantly. At the time, Ethereum was 2,000. So he had put in 1 or 2 Ethereum, and I was like, oh, you know what? You did? All right. You know what? I'm going to follow you because he's done some good trades. I'm like, I'm going to go put 2 Ethereum in. So I put in $4,000 worth of Ethereum. So we go sailing, you know, trying to check, and the internet's done. So about 3-4 days later, we land in Bermuda. I get on the internet. I'm like, oh, man, what's Shiba? What's Shiba? And we're all talking, of course, and I'm talking crypto and Bitcoin mining. So we're all talking like crypto
It's
the whole
exciting,
time.
too. It's exciting.
Yeah, so all my friends are like Shiba, Shiba, and there were other ones that there's another one. I guess I could say it, but it's not polite. But there's another one called Cum Rocket. We were trying to get Cum Rocket, which is a porn industry thing, because porn rocket.
That can shoot up.
Dude, think about it. Who was
Pun
what
intended.
industry?
Unintended.
One industry took the internet and said, let's make video the best optimization possible, and let's do it on the internet, porn. So who do we think might be able to capitalize on video snippets, imagery? You know, I mean, it's got to be one of these porn.
So I have to interrupt because
Please.
there's also NFT porn. So
It's
this
going to be
is,
massive.
At the conference, there was.
Forget it, think about it.
I know.
Your favorite porn stars, exclusive
This
thing.
is
I mean, people are
eye-opening.
gonna be going.
It's true. You can have a porn token.
Yes. So
Porn token.
anyway, so we're joking about all that stuff. So the boat gets in, and I pull up my wallet, and I'm like, oh, guys, so that I invested 2 Ethereum. So here's, and it was 45 grand. And I was like, oh, so wait, I'm up about 10, 11x in just a
You
few
have
days.
45 grand, you have 4,000 investment.
Correct. And then so we landed around 8 a.m. That night we went to dinner and we're all joking, having a great time. We have dinner and this one guy's like, yeah, I'm gonna buy a bottle of wine. Okay, buy a big bottle of wine. I was like, oh, I guess dinner's on me, guys. It was worth 68. So I was like, dude, you know, like what? And then, so that was great. So I'm like, oh yeah. And of course my friends are like, oh, you better sell out, you know, sell, it's gonna plummet. I'm like, why would I sell? I don't know. So as it began, of course, to change and come down, it was down and it was 50, then 40 and 40 something. I was like, you know what? This is what I'm talking about, desensitized. I'm like, all right, you know what? I'm going to shut everybody up. It's been about 2 weeks, so I'm going to take out 50%. So I took out 6 grand. There you go. I made money, made 50%. Good for me. And I let it all ride as gravy. The rest of it is gravy. So now, and it's so weird because to me, I'm like, 50%, that's terrible. I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have sold that stuff, but I did. And now I just have this huge 2-point-something billion Shiba position, which you can do the math is pretty good, and it's just gravy.
Really?
Just gravy, you know.
Yeah, that's.
Oh my God.
But to shut down the naysayers, because I've got a lot of friends who are like, that crypto's BS, it's not. And I'm like, okay, well, guess what? I made 50% on this one. This is all profit, and here's what it is. Like, hey, how you doing?
That's
So,
it. When you
funny
play the
Shiba
smaller
story.
ones, Shiba and Doge.
You never know.
Those are the ones that you never know can make you an instant million. To us, it's kind of a fun play with those. It's not the blue chippers, but they're ones that you can really make some quick money on. You just don't know what they're going to do because they're in play and they're very popular. And anything Elon Musk is involved in, I like to be involved in. So Doge is a good one. Shiba too. You know, I was in Shiba and I traded it out. I swapped it over for another crypto because everything was been kind of stable. But you know, so it's exciting too. So Wednesdays, next week we have Brian Propp on, legendary flyer, right? He's going to be on. He's going to, you know, talk about some crypto, his cigars, his cigars. I mean, he's big into cigars now, right? He has some stores, maybe buying cigars for crypto, right? So we'll have Brian Prop on next Wednesday. Mindy able to make it as co-host next Wednesday?
Not next Wednesday, but the following Wednesday.
All right. Okay, I'll let you go. You won't get paid next Wednesday. Though. All right. So every Wednesday, invite your friends. Look us up. Go to Facebook. What are we streaming? Where else, Chris? Where are we streaming? YouTube,
Facebook.
and Facebook. But again, it's something. Let's create this real club in Philadelphia.
Absolutely.
A Bitcoin club, right? And then, really, it's good to always bounce off ideas and creative thinking in like mindset, or what do we call it?
Mindset.
No, what in Keller Williams? Masterminding, right? So we're masterminding, right?
Yeah.
So we're masterminding, okay? So again, thank you.